Welcome back, Alexandrian Codex, Stardew Valley. I almost closed OBS instead of clicking back in this window. That would have been bad. Jojo Mart. Thank you. Goodbye, Jojo Mart. Goodbye, Great Satan. I will not be talking to you today. Moobot hates joy. Yeah, this is true. But, you know, Moobot can tell you how long the stream has been up, which I don't understand why it matters. I've never used an uptime command in anyone else's chat, but I've had enough people come in and use an uptime command that I figured I might as well include that functionality. I don't get it. I don't care how long somebody's been streaming. It's just like, oh, hey, I caught them. Or like, oh, I didn't. I want it. It's expensive now. No, rare seed. Just fight the urge. Yeah, see? Been up for 3 hours, 1 minute, 34 seconds. I guess maybe it's to see if you've missed a lot of the stream or how much you've missed. But what good is knowing that, right? Like, you already fucked. You already missed it. Maybe it's to figure out how much of the VOD you have to watch later on? I don't know. IDK. But people like it, so why not? It's harmless. Now, things like music requests. Never's a dangerous word. Especially being recorded saying the word never, because if you say, I will never do blank, you never know. You never know. But I'm very unlikely to do music requests or anything like that. Because that just seems like asking for a very obvious bad time. Can I plant you? Oh, nope. Wait, you didn't see Moobot reply to your message? I saw. He posted right after you. You went uptime, said Alexandrian Codex. It's been live for 3 hours, 1 minute, 34 seconds. It'd be hilarious if uptime is only showing to me. I'm the last person who needs to know my uptime. Look at all of this coral! How much to fix this? 300? Ooh, could I do that today? Maybe. At least I don't have to water plants today. I could actually probably do that. If I run straight back to my farm. Yeah. Let's cut wood today. I want that coral. I want it bad. Why it doesn't love you? Yeah, well, Moobot is an unfeeling machine and does not know the concept of love. Or at least so it lets on. Beans. Green beans. I like the beans just because they keep producing and you don't have to replant them. My favorite plants in any season are those that just keep on producing, don't have to be replanted. It just saves me effort in the long run. It might not be the most profitable thing to grow, but it's real convenient. Green beans! Okay. I need 300 wood. Let's kill the forest. I know that feeling. I feel like bad jokes are sort of their own reward. Like, you make a bad joke not expecting someone to laugh, but just for your own enjoyment, I think. Like, a bad joke is something the joy will not be shared with anyone overhearing it, but that kind of is part of what makes it so good. Like puns. Puns are often cringe-inducing to people who hear it, but that's part of the appeal, I think. I don't know. Puns to me are a low form of humor, but it's a low form of humor that I regularly, bitterly engage in. Can I get to 300 wood? Now that's the real question. I kind of took it for granted, but I'm not so sure. Yeah. The cringe is a sort of joy, but only a sort, yeah. Certainly true. I gotta get that coral. It's worth a lot, but to do that I have to kill the forest. I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm really not. I'm a greedy entrepreneur. Because my grandparents, both of them, have owned farms. One has sold the farm, not hyperbole, or that is not a hyperbole is not the right word for that. That is not innuendo. They actually sold their farm. Prior to them doing that, I gave a lot of thought to, like, what if I inherited that farm? What would I do? I like to think, like in Stardew Valley, that I'd start up a farm, I'd start growing a little bit and get the hang of it and start growing, but I don't know if I could. Smokey says, don't prevent wildfires or the next one will destroy the state. Yeah, wildfires are... happening far too often here on the West Coast. Yeah, they're very, very satisfying sounds. The sound design for this game is brilliant. Give me that coral. Yes. Sweet baby coral. Oh, I can't pick that one up. Wait, that fiber? Sweet coral. Yes. It's worth a fair amount. It's not worth as much as I'm making it seem like, but early game coral is worth a bigly amount, if you will. It's interesting that so many games have this concept of inheriting a farm. I think it's a pretty commonplace thing, right? Like, oh yes, you of course inherited this farm from your rich grandfather. How many people actually have grandparents who own farms? I do, but I feel like that's fairly uncommon, because as I've talked to people in my young adult life and my adult life and childhood, it was not very much a shared experience. God, you should see me at the zoo when we get to the farm section, the domestic animal section. I am incredibly snooty. I'm like, oh, hey, a cow. I've only ever seen hundreds of these in my life. Like, oh, a pig. Yep. They smell really bad and tend to be bad-tempered, but they'll eat anything. Oh, a chicken. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, do you think you would do it? Do you think you would pick up farming? I don't know. I don't know if I would. I like to think I would, but I'm really not sure. Alright, 2 energy. We are done with this for the day. Thank God I fished to get all that trash. Hell no. Yeah. Gonna rain again tomorrow. Hell yeah! I think that's a very realistic answer. That, like, fuck no, I want I want to take over the farm. I like civilization. I like being in the city. I am very much city people, but I think I'd like to be part-time city people. Like, 9 months out of the year being in the city, but like 3 months out of the year not. Deluxe fishing pole. Ooh boy. Well, yeah, okay, Robin. You're apologizing for something I don't remember. Son of a bitch, crow, eat my craps. Dang birds. Coming in. Eat my craps. Who do you think you is? This is my craps. So, time to make some scarecrows. Frog. Yeah, Cora and I are about as Canadian as you can get and still be American. The Seattleites. Damn close. I've talked a lot about wouldn't it be nice to be Canadian? Like, what do I have to do to get Canadian citizenship? Citizenship. Because politics. Stuff. I think Cora would probably have a better chance than I would. She's a more skilled laborer than I am. I'm not to degrade myself, I think she would have a bit easier time getting a visa than I would. The old folks from Maine? What kind of Canadian are we talking about? I know for a fact I'm much more like Vancouver folks than anyone from Maine. Unless that person from Maine was from Vancouver originally, in which case, you got me. You got me beat. Do Canadians... No, I know this for a fact. Canadians, like Americans, do throw shade at each other for not being Canadian enough. Right? Like, all I have to say is, like, Newfoundland, Quebec, King Edward Isle, Prince Edward Isle, King Edward Isle. And, yeah. To British Columbian for the rest of the country. Yeah, the British Columbian Canadians are very insistent that they are the true Canadians. And, you know, I don't have skin in this race, right? But they raise a convincing argument in that they're close to me, and if I say that they're right, they'll let me be one. It's a shame this doesn't... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A range of 8 tiles. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll do. Oh no! Right, I'm creating impassable zones. That's fine. The Newfies, the Maritimes. Writing up a list of your enemies. We need more coal, more wood. Quebec. It's gotta be crazy living in a predominantly English-speaking country with a strong native French population. And that's something we really don't have in the United States. We have Spanish-speaking populations. I guess New Orleans, you technically have French-speaking populations, but a real concentrated effort was made to Francify the Louisiana territory. Yeah, I think Americans take for granted our limited insights into Canadian culture. Like, oh yeah, all Canadians are the same. They're all just polite, nice, deferential. They talk real silly. And that's it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What Americans know. Okay, let's start from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This should be fine. This might not be fine, but it is. It's fine. It's fine. Fine. Do you think some Americans are the normal folks of everyone else? Who do you think they would be? The normal folks of everyone else? You mean like the normal Americans? Californians or New Yorkers? Because those are what's shown in popular media so much. Is being purportedly American, or the most American, or what we promote as being American. The accent, the American accent, the cliche American accent is actually from the Midwest. I think it's from somewhere in Indiana. Oftentimes people have told me that I have an accent, but they can't quite place it, but that's why. The Texans are very American. But Texans aren't American. Texans are Texans. Texans are Quebec. They're... They're a joke? Texas is a joke? Don't mess with Texas. Lone Star State. We're gonna secede. Yeah, dude, you telling him, Grandpa. If you don't swear, if these darn liberals elect one more Democrat president, we're gonna leave the Union for real this time. Good luck with that, Texas. I have friends from Texas. I have friends in Texas. I've dated people from Texas. They're fine. They're not any different than people from anywhere else. Texan nationalism, on the other hand, is fucking stupid. The Republic, or so-called Republic, didn't last long at all, and only survived because of backing from the United States, albeit reluctant backing from the United States, because the United States wasn't looking to start the first Mexican-American War that way, but, you know, they did start it not far after. Is everything bigger in Texas? Nah. Some things are. But nah. Oh, Leah! I forgot about Leah. She's very nice. The food's pretty big. But, like, food's pretty big in America everywhere. If I had to say who the most American Americans are, I'd say Ohio. I would go with Ohio, personally. Ohio is single-handedly the most boring state in the Union. It gets joked about and shit on all the time for being people just wanting to leave Ohio, but, you know, if something is boring, that means it's your median, right? Your mean, or your median. It's your most common denominator. So Ohio is probably the most American state. I don't know if I like that or not. Like, you know, it's largely suburban. It has some urban centers, but they're not doing so hot because of the fall of the steel industry, the iron industry, the coal industry. It's very much in the Rust Belt. It's still having some issues with the collapse of its former industrial infrastructure. It's trying to rebrand itself, but it's not doing a great job at it. People from there are generally nice enough, but you know, to an extent. Everyone remembers it being better and wanting it to go back to the way it was. Very American. It's got, you know, collapsing empire written all over it. Yeah, most other states, when you talk about them being very American, they have some outstanding qualities, right? Like Texas, everything is bigger in Texas, or they're a bunch of ravenous xenophobes, whatever. But Ohio, I mean, I don't have much. People from Vancouver, typically in Canadian prairies, some white dude from Toronto, and a French guy from the East Coast. Yeah, yeah. I would really like it if Canada were part of the United States. And now I know that's a horrible thing to say to Canadians because you're a proud nation, etc., etc., etc. But you would help us so much. Do you have any idea how big of an impact it would have on the United States to have an influx of that large of a liberal vote? Seriously, you would be doing us a huge favor if you joined. You could get our obscene spending and budgets, but you could also help us fix the vote and make this country not a horrifying mess. Yeah, I know. From the Canadian perspective, you don't have a lot to gain, right? You could name some aircraft carriers after you. Something War of 1812. What if we let you burn down the White House again? Is that incentive enough? Please. I really do. The idea of a nation like the United States is really interesting. Or the European Union as a federation of states is really fascinating because a federation of states in creating this shared identity loses a lot of the individual identities, but dividing them into states or small zones, it's really weird what it does to us. We do have avocados. I guess Canada doesn't really have a great place for growing avocado. Take our avocados, give us universal healthcare. Yeah, that's a platform I can get behind. We give you our absurd agriculture. You give us universal government subsidized healthcare. All I'm asking for is that the Canadians just get fake annexed by the United States in order to help us out. You know, actually, Quebec back in the 90s was joking, well, was not joking, but was arguing that they wanted to secede from Canada and join the United States. Crazy. Yeah. But on the whole, introducing the I think we would still end up getting more of a liberal vote in the end. Just math-wise. Independence? Knock yourself out. It'd be fascinating to see, like, a weird kinship between Quebec, California, and Texas, as in this fake North American super union that we're imagining here. None of them would want to be a part of it. all of them are secessionists, and it'd be very interesting to see the relationships between them. But even conservatives, well, never mind. I was going to say, even Canadian conservatives aren't so crazy as ours are, but no, y'all have had an interesting past couple of elections as well, which may or may not be our fault. I know. Parsnips? Why are these parsnips so expensive? No, ma'am. No, I will not be having any of those today. Yeah. I know. They're your Texans. Or maybe Alabamans? Well, I don't know. Alabama is largely xenophobic and racist. And I don't think I'm ruffling any feathers by saying that. Or Mississippi, but neither of them have the secessionist vibe that Quebec occasionally has. It's kind of hard to draw a direct parallel to any one state in the United States, but you know, there's some similarities. Okay, it's just... Is that a purple pig-drawn carriage? Yep. They're your Mississippi. My Scottish Mississippi. Okay, so maybe Canada doesn't join the United States. What if instead you annexed Washington, Oregon, California, Vermont, Maine, New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, really all the good parts of the United States, all the Democrat parts of the United States, even Illinois. Yeah, we'll throw in Illinois. You don't have to have the Republican parts. They can just sit and be angry and xenophobic in their decimated states of America without any of the money from the industrious liberal states. I think I'm buying way too many beans, if I'm being real here. But the need for bean is strong. That could be taken in a sexual context. To be real though, I don't think a secessionist movement in the United States could be successful. I really don't. Given our history, it's too sensitive of a topic, and it failed catastrophically the last time because of the whole, slavery thing. I just don't think anyone would seriously take up that political platform and enjoy any sort of success. Texas keeps trying, but it tends to be very, very extreme candidates who vouch for that sort of thing. Boop, there we go. Alright, fine, you don't have to take New York City. It's fine. It's fine. New York City should really just be its own little nation. They're self-righteous enough. You'll take Montana? Wow. That's generous of you. I mean, Montana's very pretty, but... Cascadian flag. Cora, Cascadia would be horrible. It would be President Bezos. Do you want... No one wants that. We would turn so post-apocalyptic cyberpunk so quickly. It's not... No, we can't have that. Cascadia would be run by the technocracy of Amazon Microsoft Incorporated. Or International, maybe. The great Lord Bezos is already trying to take us to outer space. I don't think he needs to run Seattle any more than he already does. Do not speak his name. To his credit, he did just donate $2 billion to trying to address the homelessness issues in the Seattle area, greater Seattle area. Of course, $2 billion is, what, like 1% of his net worth? Easy. Just insane. Just an insane amount of money. The Michigan Peninsula looks like it should be yours anyway. No, sorry, not the Michigan Peninsula. What am I thinking? There are several parts of the United States that can only be accessed by going through Canada. You should just have those parts. Yeah, Alaska for the nice borders, but you know, if you take Alaska, you have to take former governor as well. I hear Alaska's quite pretty. You know, give global warming about another century and Alaska will be my kind of place, but not until then. Yeah. I joke about us taking parts of Mexico, or Mexico taking parts of the United States, but we've already done that. The whole Mexican-American War, we stole Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, Nevada, and California, and some of Oklahoma, and I think that's about it for Mexico already. I'd say they can have it back, but I don't think they want it back. It is kind of crazy how many Canadians, successful Canadians particularly, are mistaken for American by Americans. We like to steal your success. Really, that's just America's mission statement. Regardless of what nation in particular we're talking about, we'll take your most successful people, but that's about it. It's amazing to me that Trudeau has such a low approval rating. He's such a pretty man. Gotta win him some points. But to be fair, I haven't kept up with federal or national level Canadian politics for quite some time. I used to. Man, I was a very well-read teenager. I used to read 3 or 4 different news sources per day, but man, laziness is a... The veterans don't deserve a single cent more. Well, you know, in the United States, he would disappear in the middle of the night if he said something like that. Yeah, perhaps not the best statement to be making. Not a good platform. Not at all a good platform, but you know, something like that is a faux pas and bad. It's just a terrible political platform, but at least he's not advocating killing people or grabbing people by the genitals or saying that if he walked down the street and shot someone, his supporters would still support him because they're fanatics. And he also isn't trying to get sexual offenders promoted to the highest offices of your country. It's a fair comparison, it's just not an exact comparison. Ah, our country's on fire. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Oh boy. Fences are not actually all that useful. You lie, game. You lie. Fences are actually one part of farming that I can do. I can make and mend fences. I have decent experience doing that. Trudeau's a bit of a dick. Trump is a whole bitch. Yeah, you know, there Stormy Daniels did have an interview describing what that specific bodily appendage resembles. If you are at all interested, that interview is publicly available now. So, there's you know, I'm fortunate enough to live in the Pacific Northwest where when we have people running for office, I can actually vote socialist. And not just vote socialist with one candidate. There's several socialist candidates, or similarly left-aligned or further left-aligned candidates. It's very nice. You know, I fully recognize the popular vote. They're probably not going to... I know they're not going to win, but it still feels nice to vote for someone who has the politics that I share. Two-party system blows. First past the post-electoral system blows. It should be representative of the vote, not whoever gets more than 50% first, because that's a stupid fucking system. Fuck you, Thomas Jefferson. Fuck you. Wouldn't be nice if, you know, 20% of your country were, I don't know, libertarian. So 20% of your representatives had to be libertarian. All levels of representation. The Green Party does get a seat at the federal level. You're true. You're true. You're correct about that. Green Party at least gets some visibility. The compromising that goes on is... well, you know, I have very liberal socialist values, but I just don't believe my candidate could get elected, so instead I'll vote for a neoliberal who supports helping out major corporations and doesn't really want to give us universal health care. Why do we settle for this trash? Yeah, you got me there. That would allow religious and racial minorities proper representation in our country, and God knows the United States isn't very interested in having People who haven't, people who aren't white, people who haven't studied economics or politics, people who aren't over the age of 50 and are white old men. We're run by Christian white old men with useless business degrees and no understanding of how physics or science works. No grasp of chemistry or biology or information sciences or political sciences, really. Political sciences or social sciences. Rah, 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 rah. This is me talking about American politics. It's just like, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. The damned retort that you'll get if you complain about anything, about the political system of the United States, from a nationalist, is, if you don't love it, you can just leave. Which is stupid as shit. Ah yes. What good representative democracy we have, where voices that are not wholly in support of the state should be silenced or forcibly removed. Democracy. I'm not just putting an affectation of a character on there. I feel like I get to be critical of the right because I grew up in a very Republican part of the United States. Many of my family members have conservative values. Many friends of mine have libertarian and conservative values. I feel like I'm not a coastal elite outsider. Well, you know, not a born coastal elite outsider. I grew up in that shit. Yeah, I know it's really hard to immigrate to Canada. I'd love to, but I know it's super hard. I've actually been talking about immigrating to, like, Iceland. That sounds nice. Just to be very far away from the rest of the world for a while. I could take a break. Just send me to wonderful Bjorkland. They tell stories and make art and drive their banks out of the nation and nationalize everything because it was a horrible mistake to have the banks have that much power. And have a really high suicide rate. But also, like, decently happy despite that really high suicide rate. Sounds like my kind of place. Scandinavian countries got some stuff going on I really like. And, you know, certain game companies, Paradox, are run out of there. I would love working for. As much as I complain about Paradox titles, seriously, it would be an absolute joy to work on their games. I know that they put a lot of love and effort and thought into their work. But it's just like anything else. If you spend thousands of hours playing something or doing something, you're going to, hopefully, if you have much of a brain between your ears, you will form some critique. Who's the leader of Canada? The Queen. The Queen is your head of state. I mean, the Prime Minister is, acting head of state. Yeah, the Queen of fucking England, yeah. But, you know, she's regent and all of the United Kingdom as well, but she doesn't really do anything. She can actually do things. She can execute some authority, but not much. It does seem awfully archaic, to be truthful, to have her be your head of state. I mean, I get it for, like, tradition and national identity or cultural identity. I kind of get it, but, like... Oh, okay, I'm gonna upset a lot of people from England or people who like having a monarch. You know, they're just a parasite on your society, right? Like, they're just someone born to the right family who contributes nothing to your country, yet lives off of the country's wealth. Like, in the United States, there's complaints about people on welfare, but... Yeah, it is a little silly that French Canada is so insistent about, everybody else needing to speak French. By percentage of the population, I feel like more people in the United States speak Spanish than speak French. In Canada, that might not be true, but it's probably equivalent, but we sure as fuck would never... We're stubborn enough, like, no. Have signs written in 2 languages? No, thank you. Through business investments, right? Through investing money that they already have, it makes the United Kingdom hundreds of millions of pounds per year. Yeah, but what if the state had access to that fundage and just made investments on its own behalf instead? Ah, okay, yeah, they are a tourist attraction. You're not wrong. I suppose from that perspective, true. True. But they're not doing Canada a lot of good then. No tourists are coming to Canada for the Queen. Where's your slice of the pie? See, there's a compromise. You could suggest that maybe you don't get rid of the Queen, but in return, you get some of that sweet, sweet Queen money. I joke, but Queen Elizabeth, has lived an amazing life. She's overseen an amazing period in her country's history. I mean, she became queen in 19... it was after her father died. It was after World War II. It was in the 40s? Late 40s, early 50s? Fucking crazy. She was queen for the entire duration of the Cold War. Nuts. Yeah. Yeah, I'm an American who knows about foreign monarchs. Gotta say, it's kind of crazy how conservative the United Kingdom was in the 50s. I mean, I guess the United States was as well, but the whole, like, you can't get divorced thing and still be King of England. Alright. I mean, I know the king who was forced out was also highly sympathetic to fascist movements, but also, like, Church of England got some stuff going on. Huh, okay, can I do another day in 10 minutes? Yeah, I think so. This will be our last day, I think. Day 9. Hey, day 9. Gonna rain all day tomorrow. The game's being so nice to me. That's insane. $350 million. Well, at least it helps fight inflation if you have to spend all that money to print new money. Be told the United States is in serious need of monetary reform. Our pennies are worthless. No. Even nickels are mostly worthless. We should just knock off a ones place or a tens place for a currency for it to be relevant at all anymore. We need 1/10 of our money to just disappear. Inflation in the United States is getting to be a bit problematic. Yep. Nickels make money to make. Yeah, we make money making nickels. The pennies we lose money on. Dimes I think we lose money on. Quarters I don't remember. But it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Nobody uses nickels. We're all using electronic currency anyway. And it's all fiat bullshit anyway, so just get rid of the... lose the nickel. Lose the penny. Don't we? I know we lose money on pennies, and it's a pretty substantial amount. I just don't want to carry around physical money anymore, and I don't want it to be normalized. 7 cents made on each dime. Who is making this money? 2 cents per penny. Who's making the money, though? That's not going to fund... It's not the government making money, that's the government spending money and putting money back into the economy, maybe? Like 2 cents... Right, well, this day's gonna take a lot longer to profit. Per nickel. Oh no, that's actual nickel. Penny. Let's try that. Yeah, nickel manufacturers. Absolutely, but not, how recent is this your point from? But the US Mint is losing money on making pennies since like 2009. You know, this probably changes by year. US Mint's making money? Does the US Mint make a profit? A quarter, for example, costs a mint 5 cents to make, but it sells for 25 cents, an average of 80% profit margin. These profits, called seniorage, go into the government's general fund or budgeted by Congress just like tax revenue. But inflation, though. This is a stupid idea. Profit made by government by issuing currency, especially the difference between the face value of the coins and the production cost. That difference just adds to inflation. That profit isn't it isn't innocent. I mean, it's nice to have a profit at all, but I would like my ideal currency. I don't know if I've talked about this before. My ideal currency is an energy credit. Something is worth the amount of energy it takes to create. Meaning physical energy, chemical energy, etc., etc. I mean literal energy. I don't mean emotional energy. So, you know, that's something that I do put value in. I want chemical, physical energy to be the measuring force. Like, how valuable is this food? I don't know. How many calories does it have? High amount of calories? It's worth a lot. Low amount of calories? Not worth a lot. Yeah, it's just essentially Star Trek stuff. But why not? It makes way more fucking sense than Oh, this is worth $1. Why? Because you're willing to pay $1 for it? Yeah, but like, that's a horrible basis for a currency. Supply and demand are fickle and inconsistent and not based on any real laws of nature or physics or production or sustainability or anything else. What if instead of a bullshit system that's completely arbitrary, we had it based off of like, oh, things that are harder to extract? Yeah, they're worth more than things that are easy to extract. Diamonds, in my system, would have no goddamn value. Well, you know, value in that it can be used for industrial purposes, but diamonds shouldn't be worth anything. They're incredibly common. But gold should have value, because it is incredibly energy intensive to get more gold. There's a very finite amount of it. I don't know, some weird economics would probably play out from that. There's probably some very complicated and perhaps less than ideal consequences of going to an energy-based economy, but I'm into it. I wouldn't want a diamond if somebody were proposing to me. Diamonds, they are forever, and they are my birth diamond, or my birth gem. Birth jewel? Gem? Whatever. But they're also they're bullshit. They shouldn't cost anywhere near what they do. It's just supply and demand. It's a fucking scheme. That's not it. It's there's a word for what I'm wanting to describe. Yeah, my brain's going. No, don't remember what it's called. Monopoly? It is a monopoly, informing it and causing it, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Cartel? It is also a cartel, correct. I guess scheme, something that's a trick, something that's disingenuous, something that's a lie. Whatever, yeah, you know the gist of what I'm trying to express. The heart of what I'm trying to express is that it's fake and it's bullshit and it shouldn't have that much value. But diamonds are pretty! Well, no, so is quartz. And honestly, most people, if you put quartz in front of them, or glass, hell, even if you gave someone a glass ring and they didn't slam it against something, they would have no way to tell that it isn't diamond. Your average person cannot tell the difference between diamond and glass. And if you can't tell the difference, there is no difference. If the function is what it looks like, and it looks the same, then it is the same. Ponzi scheme? Nah, it's not quite a Ponzi scheme, but I like where your head's at. Now, as far as industrial uses, yes, diamond certainly has value there, and cannot be replaced with glass, because if you tried that, it'd be pretty fucked up. But diamond isn't even the hardest substance in the universe. It isn't the hardest substance known to man. Not anymore. We haven't produced a lot of it, but we can produce harder substances. Insert sex joke. But this is a thing we have done and can do. Very expensive, but it's a possibility. Oh wow, that's really sad. I didn't know that. Oh god. I'm sluggish and overexhausted. I fucked up. Oh, I got it back. Hell yeah. Okay, not so sluggish and overexhausted anymore? That fix it? Kinda. Still gonna regret it tomorrow. Well, I am done for today. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching this on Twitch, this is it for tonight. If you are watching this on YouTube, this is it for today. More will presumably be up tomorrow. If you have ideas for mods that I should include, let me know. Let me know. I will look into Stardew mods on my own. I'm pretty happy getting back into this. Until tomorrow, I'm gonna say make sure to comment, share, like, subscribe on all the social media accounts, Alexandrian Codex on all the things. Doodaloo. Take care. Bye-bye.